You know what I love so far? Like, you're always smiling. That's a good thing.
Because I'm not stressed today.
Oh, so when you stress, you don't smile?
Sometimes I don't when I have a lot of work to do.
I think you should
but
still smile.
today-
You have a beautiful smile. It works. It brightens up a room. I'm pretty sure everybody can agree, right?
Sometimes I'm
No?
like the funniest person on earth. Some days I'm just more focused. Like when I'm working, like when I was working on my album, Soul Therapy, I was focused, you know? Yes, and you know, it's like preparing yourself for a movie role.
Well, you
So I
have
have to get into character.
You have to. You have
Right.
to.
But
When
today
when
I'm
you're
in a
giving
good
your
mood.
heart into something, you have to prepare.
Right, and maybe, you know, it's just a vibe because your vibe, I'm feeding off your vibe as well.
Awesome. I'm giving you good vibes, right?
Yeah, man. Yeah,
Awesome.
man.
All right, now listen. Now don't try to get away from this. Now, when you first started, you started into music, like you said, when you were very, very young. You started
Right.
with attracting what, the women, and you felt like that's what you had was the music.
When I grew up really poor, I used to go to school bare feet,
Mm-hmm.
you know, no shoes. So when I discovered, or when people discovered that I could sing, and they started calling on me, you know, more often to sing, then the girls started coming around, and that was my way of, you know, hanging out with the girls, because I was not the cutest, you know, and as I said before, I grew up really poor. So when I, you know, sang, you know, the girls
It
would
made you,
come around and they'd be like, "Oh my God, he can sing!" You know, he can sing. You know, so that was good for me.
Oh my God, can I say
They sounded just the same like that. They sounded like it's just the same. You know, so that really.
But that was a good feeling. It was a motivational booster,
right. So that motivated me into being, you know, going after music. So I jumped out
But that's
of school.
a big thing, though, to just say, I'm going to go after music, right? Because, you know, now you have to perform in front of hundreds of people, you know, and that takes courage. Now, if the women coming up to you and just say, hey, you're beautiful, you're handsome, you know,
Right.
that's one thing. But to say, I'm going to take this gut feeling and I'm going to take music to the next level like you did, you know, because you have so many hits.
Well, I just think with me, when you're born to do something, I just think you just connect with people, you know, automatically when you hit the stage, and that is what I think I'm blessed with. It's just being a people person. Even if I'm speaking to people, I like to speak to people. I like to have a conversation. So, you know, when I go on stage, I just want to communicate with the people. I just want them to feed off me, and I find different ways to cheer them up, to let them laugh, you know, let them know that, yo, we're not here for the stress.
Exactly.
You know, we're here to have a good time.
Now, I also read that you were in an altercation. This is a long time ago, and your mouth was wired shut.
Right.
And then there was a point where you saw, I think it was it Beanie Man? I think it's Beanie Man. Somebody was performing, and you were like, no, I need to unwire my mouth, and I want to
Right. Some guy used a piece of iron to break my jaw.
Correct.
And I was wired shut for a few weeks, like 5-6 weeks. So I had that time to really focus, you know, on what I really wanted to do in life.
You know, I brought that up because, you know, usually if my mouth is wired shut, I'm not thinking about anything else but healing and, you know, relaxing and coming back, and, you know, I'll come back when I'm ready. You know, for you to
Right.
say, no, it's still there, but I need to unwire and I need to get back to work.
Right,
You
so
know?
I was thinking food because I couldn't eat. I was blending chicken and rice and peas. I was blending everything together.
Wait, what? You
Try-
was doing what?
I was trying to blend food together
Oh,
because you know
God.
the food, the smell of the food was just so good at
But
that
what
time.
it tastes like when you did that?
It burned the blender up. The blender burnt up. You know, got burnt up.
I could imagine.
Because you know the chicken was too much for the blender. So you know, music and food was, and my life. You know, I was like, you know, what am I going to do with my life now? And I had that moment, you know, to really focus. And I was like, yo, music, you know, I got to do music. So I had that beat, that Beanie Man was on the same beat with
Right.
Zim Zimmer. And I started messing around with the beat. And, you know, that was when I, you know, had my first hit. That song that I did on that beat was my first hit. But it's because of that off time, you know, that gave me that new focus.
Correct. And, you know, I wanted to mention a lot of the stuff that you kind of went through, you know, before we get into soul therapy, because I want people to just kind of see who you were. You know, you read about it in your bio, but when you're hearing it from your mouth, you know, you get to say, man, he went through that, or he overcame that, or
Right.
this was his motivation, and this is why he's who he is today. You know, people need to hear those things, you know, because there's a lot of people out here who are struggling, who are going through things, and
Right.
they love music, you know,
Right.
and they get discouraged very easily.
Right.
You know, so we're gonna take another break. Did my CD? Oh, no, it didn't fall. We're gonna take another break, and when we come back from that break, we're gonna jump right into soul therapy.
Yep.
Okay?
Yes.
You ready?
Yes, let's go.
All right, let's go, guys.
Hit the break.
We'll be back.